All right, this is it. NXT Battleground is this weekend. It is happening in Las Vegas from the UFC Apex, and it is rumored to have heavy UFC influence, including crossover stuff. Whether they cross over to NXT later on, don't know. But let's kick off our predictions right here with the women's match. Jordynne Grace vying for the NXT title from Roxanne Perez.
I hope this main events, and I know it's unlikely. Roxanne was in TNA for a little bit, but I know it's unlikely. But I'm going with Jordynne Grace to become a dual champion on a UFC venue at an NXT WWE event. Let her have all the gold. She truly is the juggernaut. Let her run wild with this belt for a little bit, then maybe drop it to somebody else. Have Roxanne get called up after this.
You know, the ratings are there. It could happen, especially going into the CW era in a couple of months. That bring in a lot of eyes. I think Roxanne's going to win. That's my pick. But, man, wouldn't that just be it for WWE to kind of, like, give a little jab to the Forbidden Door month to AEW by doing that?
I mean, we'll see. I mean, look at this. TNA had a relationship with AEW for a little bit. You know, Kenny was over there for a little bit. A few other guys got crossed over. And there was rumors that some people were like a little snobby towards TNA. They didn't want to go over there. It's like, I don't want to go to TNA. Do you think this is a better relationship with TNA than with AEW?
We'll see what WWE gives them. That's the big kicker here. So that other guy from the Brooks and Dunn tag team, he hasn't been on TV in months. So
true.
Yeah. All right, this is it. The other part of the shocker from last week. All Ego, Ethan Page taking on Trick Williams.
I have a lot of respect for All Ego, man. He's been killing it. He's long overdue a proper run with a belt. You know, a proper storyline, TV time. You can go down the list, but it's got to be Trick Williams. I think this is his first like major defense. This is Ethan Page's first match in the company. So
right.
Let's get the win of Trick Williams. Maybe something goes down to protect Ethan, but I'm not too sure how it goes. But Trick has to retain.
Yeah, I think we already saw it. What WWE put out via socials, what happened after it went off the air with Ormansa attacking him. I think that's your answer to what's going to happen.
Oh yeah.
Trick Williams all day. He's going to be carrying TNT into the CW. I'll put money on that.
Yeah.
All right. What do you have for this one? This one, correct me if I'm wrong, this is going to be a different kind of match. It's not just a regular match.
Yeah, I mean, you have two former MMA fighters. Lola's still undefeated. I think she was in Bellator. Shayna was in the UFC for a bit. You could do something special here. I'm looking at Samoa Joe, Kurt Angle in a cage in TNA when they were calling the whole match like it was shoot. There's a few other instances. You have the fight pit instances, but this one right here I think can top it all and be very special. They're going to be in a UFC octagon, official UFC octagon, and official UFC venue, and I think they could do something special. I'm gonna give the win to Shayna. I think Lola could use it, but Shayna I think needs it a little more, and I think as long as the match is good, Lola will be fine.
Okay. That's a good point. I'm going to say it's going to be Lola. I do believe they are building up more people into the CW era. So I'm going to give it to Lola and maybe even some kind of acknowledgement at the end or even another MMA person coming out, Sonya Deville, just to kind of maybe bring
That's
her
true.
into the fold.
She's been teasing around a bit there.
Yeah. I'm actually excited for this. This is one of the most, probably the most match I'm looking forward to. It's different.
You don't know what's going to happen, so.
Exactly. And, of course, ladder matches are always fun as hell. So I'll start off with this one. To crown the new champion, the new mid-card title in NXT, this is much needed. I'm going to say Mishin gets this. She's just been so good. And I just feel there's nothing for her right now on the main roster. Triple H wants to use her. But this is it. And I feel there's like 3 or 4 people in here who are just a little too new. And I don't think they've been putting Lash Legend in matches enough. Otherwise, she'd be my second pick to get it. But I think Mishin's taking this.
Yeah, you got so many options here. If Lash was to win, she's a great, storyline. She's a great group with her team. It could be her and Trick, both champions. Kalani Jordan is like an upcomer. Really been killing it. Very athletic.
Yep.
Fallon has been good too. She's been there for a little bit longer than I think most of the other girls. I think they're positioning Jada Parker to be that person. I think Mia Yim should win. I think she's long overdue a belt. She's my pick to win. But after you mentioned Sol Ruka being over to crossover to TNA, I can imagine Sol Ruka winning this belt and then go to TNA, defending there, maybe doing Ultimate X, like I said, getting some little other prestige on it outside of the company, coming back. There's a lot of options you can have with Sol Ruka. Mia Yim's obviously been in TNA, so she could do the same thing as well. But I gotta go with Mia Yim just because she's overdue. I think she's kicked it up a notch. She's in great shape.
Yep.
Let's see how it goes, man. Let her run with the belt and see what happens.
Let's do it. Multiple segments this week. Again, she's fantastic. All right. Obafemi versus Wesley versus one of the Gallus people. Like, Gallus is so forgettable to me. They're just there. They're just filling space. Yeah. They are tofu in a dish. They're just there for me. Obafemi's taking this one, and there's going to be some kind of a build with him and Wesley, in my opinion, after the match.
Yeah, the Gallus people, man. The only thing I heard about them in the last few months was that they helped train The Rock for his match, which is, credit to them. Great stuff. I just don't feel like I've seen them get built up enough on NXT. So when I look at this match, I feel like this is the first way we get Obafemi and Wesley to touch a little bit, have a good match together, and we protect Wesley by pinning the other guy. That's why I feel like he's here. Then we can build, like you said, to another match with them later on a bigger card. So I'm going with Obafemi to retain. But hopefully it's a good triple threat.
I hope so. I know the Gals boys can wrestle, but they're just very plain in my opinion. Noob, welcome. Let us know your thoughts, and everyone else, let us know if you're not watching live. Your Battleground predictions. Last match. Tag team match. A-Kid and his partner. I forgot his name.
Nathan Frazier.
Nathan Frazier. There it is.
Seth Rollins' trained prodigy.
Okay. Versus the Good Brothers. Who do you got now?
I think the Good Brothers should lose. They've been. I call a spade a spade. They've been stealing money for quite a long time here. Nothing against them. Do what you gotta do. I'm never gonna count anyone's pockets. I'm never gonna shame them for getting their money. But come on, man. I think it'd be cool from the win these belts because they would have got TNA World Championship and NJPW. They got both main roster belts. It'd be kind of cool for them to get this adds to the collection as well, and it adds to their lineage. I don't think maybe they'll win on a rematch, but I think you have to go with Axiom and Nathan Frazier right now. Yeah,
I'd say that too. Give it to him on a rematch on an NXT show because NXT is pretty good at swapping decent titles on their shows. I say do that to the build to the breakup to the two, but I think the champs are retaining on this one.
Yeah,
that's it. Any other things going on for Battleground that you think, or you think it's just gonna be kind of a good showcase as we go into the CW pay-per-view?
Good showcase. Maybe just go ahead and tease Julia. Maybe have her be there. I know that's probably why Roxanne's going to win because we're getting ready for her versus Julia and they're trusting her with that, which is going to be great, by the way. So if she's healthy enough, I know she had that wrist surgery. Maybe have her there. I can't think of anybody else. I know they're trying to get, I think his name's Ethan Thorpe. I forget his name on New Japan, but Ethan Thorpe in here. Trying to get him back into the fold and maybe see some of him. That's really it, honestly. There's a lot you could do. And if you really want to do some stuff, have some more TNA crossovers. Have someone else appear from TNA besides Jordynne Grace. That prohibited portal, if you will.
I agree. I don't want to call it that. And I like what you said there about Julie coming in because you'd have another company, Marigold, being represented on this big-ass Battleground event. So I think you'll see the bigger things happen in the next pay-per-view for NXT leading into the CW. But that's it.
I mean, SEXYY is hosting. Maybe
that's true. I can see that.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. And then also the last thing real quick. The venue, it's a small venue. The UFC, they don't use this for their main shows. They were using this primarily because the pandemic, they couldn't go anywhere else. So they said, we'll just use our own venue. I think it only sits about maybe 700-800 people. So we'll see how much they put in here. But it's going to be I'm interested to see how they structure it as well. Because it's a small place.
Well, I think it'll be a good look then, especially if you use UFC production people who know what they're doing in that facility for Lola and Shayna, and that could be match of the night.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes, man. NXT Battleground this Sunday.
That's it.